but it's easy. The world is so much smaller than it used to be. And what a lot of people do is they start a business, or they decide, you know what, I want to do some consulting. Like if I know a person who's a financial wizard who knows a lot of different things about the banking industry, and that person is like, I want to start a consulting business. The first thing I'd say is launch a website. And a long time ago, it used to be really difficult. And like I said, this is key point 14 through 18. And the key point is use a blog to launch your ideas for 14. But the way you used to have to do it, you had to use Dreamweaver, do-it-yourself kind of DIY, these DIY templates, WYSIWYG programs. You had to do all of this different stuff. When I first started building my website and I was running it myself, I had to use Microsoft Publisher, Notepad, and then I had to learn HTML and dynamic HTML. When I had to make a change on my website back then, and I was running a basketball website, so I'd have 100 players on the site, I would have to update each individual page. So I'd have to update all 100 pages. And as I added more players to the site, it was a pain. And I stopped running center court basketball for a variety of reasons. But one of it was that I was using HTML, dynamic HTML, and I had to write this code and I had to update every page every time I made a change on something. And it just got super frustrating. But with the advent of, as WordPress, back then Blogger, as WordPress became a lot more prominent, it simplified the process of creating a website. Now you have Squarespace, you have Wix, you got so many different things that you can use. So key point 15 is blogs are easy to use versus Dreamweaver and WYSIWYG, but because things have changed so much and you can just set up a Squarespace or you can set up a WordPress, I really don't have to explain how much easier blogs are than, anything else. So what I will jump into is, I'll move quickly past that and I'll go into key point 16. So you can see I'm jumping through 14, 15, 16, and I'm talking about the fact that blogs are easier to monetize. Now, the way monetizing, right? So let me explain that. Is the process of generating revenue through your website. And there's basically 3 ways to monetize. And that's to sell something, sponsorships, donations, right? And of course, you have ad revenue. Selling something is the obvious way to earn money on your website. Once you have a hosting plan and you've created your website, a part of that hosting is an e-commerce store. So you could set it up that way. Now, the cool thing about having WordPress is you can install WooCommerce into a WordPress site and it builds your entire store out. And you just have to start adding products and update the information of where you're shipping from so you can do taxes and things like that. Now with Squarespace, it's all in one. You add the blog to the backside of the Squarespace because the Squarespace is a store. Shopify is a store and you can add a blog to the backside of it. It's so much easier now. So it's easier to monetize. But you're selling something and you create a link on your site and it's a direct link and takes people to the store and you can sell it. Now there's a little bit of a learning curve with any process of doing e-commerce. But to be honest, it's really straightforward now. Back then when I wrote this, it wasn't. Donations, you can go to PayPal, set up a donation button. You can do coffee. There's so many different things that you can do for donations. You have Patreon now where people are just building in giant Patreon communities. You don't even have to set up your own website. You can go to Substack if you're a writer. And you can go to Substack, set up your Substack, and then build your community, and then start charging subscriptions for newsletters. There's just so much you can do now. So when I say that blogs are easier to monetize, and I was saying it back then, it really came true. And I used to talk a lot about ad revenue, and for, in some instances, ad revenue now, you don't get a whole lot from. What's the best way? You know what? I can show you better than I can tell you because, and you hate, on my website, I probably make an extra, $1,000 or $2,000 a year simply from ad revenue. Now, how does that work? And like I said, the book, if you're looking over here to my side, the book isn't as up to date because it's based on old information from what I was doing back then. And that changes. But key point 17, the ad revenue is real, as opposed to reading this section to you and explaining it and talking about, I can really dive into, let's say, blogging. But what I want to do for key point 17, ad revenue is real, instead, I'm going to disappear myself here. Well, I'm not disappearing myself. That sounds weird. I'm going to go to Adsense, and I don't know if I need to block out some code or anything else. So I don't think so. I don't think you can really see anything in this dashboard, but it gives you reports and AdSense. And I go to the home page, and you can see it says $2.03 today, $2.08. Last 7 days, $9.08. Balance is $92.72. Last payment, $169.60. You see all of this stuff and this information, but this is AdSense. So if I let's see if I can do a view report, and I can go, instead of last, let's go last 3 years and see how much it's made, because it's been a process of growing this. But you see, I've had, so I made like $3,000. Now, I write this website, my website, every day, which is arch-usa.com. And you see it, and these are the ads that show up in this ad revenue. So it's not a ton of money, but it's kind of nice to make $1,000 a year. In some instances, it's nice to make $1,000 a year. And you see, at the start, I wasn't doing very well, and then I had these spikes where I do $10 a day, and I do $8. And I could have kept doing certain things to just kind of stay on that wave. But I'm really into the process, like $26.99, and I don't know if you can see that if I'm not covering it up. But making ad revenue is a good thing. I think I have other stuff to show you as far as monetizing, and I'm going through this. Let me see if apps, let me see, apps, I can't remember the name of it. You know what? I'm going to go to eBay and look at affiliates, which I barely have. And when you come to my shop, right, I have all of this stuff on my shop, all of these sneakers. Of course, I have like books you can buy, but I have all these sneakers. These sneakers I don't have. I simply have the pictures up. And when you click on them to buy, it takes you to an affiliate on either eBay, or it takes you to an affiliate on apps for StockX. It takes you to these different places. And I have to verify this because I haven't logged in and checked this in so long that I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't let me in. But I don't even check on this stuff anymore. But this is another way of monetizing. So you can see it's only 38 cents over here. And yeah, see, I haven't logged in so long. I barely use eBay affiliates. As a matter of fact, if I went to earnings, it's probably not even that much. Let's see. So, all right, so I got paid for the year. Let's see what 2023, just like $9.33. Last 12 months, $17.94, all $105. It's not even that much money, but it's free money. I take a code, I just put it there, and if it goes, as a matter of fact, this will tell you if this is eBay. And close that. And you shop. It took you to StockX. So I barely used eBay. Let me see if I can remember what StockX's login is. Affiliate, and here it is. So it should be logged in here. Let's see if it's logged in. Impact, checking, logging in. And there goes my login information. And it should, I don't think it's going to show anything proprietary. But see, you see, this is much different than the eBay one. You're at $39.62. But once again, this is all built on the back of my website. Just the things are sitting here. I probably had these shoes before. I don't have them anymore. Once they are sold out, they take you to StockX, eBay, Amazon, and I can log into each one of these and look at them. But I think I just started with Impact. I think I just started with Impact probably last year. So I don't even know what the balance is or the earning history. Let's go to the earning history and see. Earning history. Yeah, I think I just started with them. So if I went by a year, it's going to be exactly the same for all for a year. Yeah, I just started, but there's already 3962. So if we look at all of these different places where I'm generating ad revenue, you see that it's a real thing. And I don't do enough. I could literally put these ads. As a matter of fact, I'm going to jump over here to my YouTube and go to the dashboard for my YouTube. I could literally jump over here. I should have ads on every video that I have on YouTube. So I have 4,864 subscribers. It's not that many. Once again, it's not my primary business. It's not my focus. These are things that I'm doing. And I'm like, hey, I might as well make some money off of this stuff. But if I go analytics and I go lifetime, this is ad revenue. Once again, if I go lifetime and I go see how much revenue I've made on YouTube, there it goes, $4,587. I didn't, if you notice, you see here, I really didn't start using YouTube until 2019, and then I started getting really active a year or two ago. So this lifetime thing is really on in the last couple of years. So once again, 4,587 here, 3,000 over on Adsense, which both of these are Adsense, but they're separate. YouTube is separate from Adsense. So you're talking almost 10 grand, well, almost 8 grand, just to be honest, almost 8 grand in ad revenue. So when I'm talking with you guys and I'm talking about this ad revenue is real, it's a really important point. And I built this website for Chuck Lawson. And Chuck just got a bunch of shoes that Under Armour sent me to give to student athletes. So he's not only started his own brand, but when I built this website, he's moved from just running this website to starting his own brand to having sneakers sent from different brands to give to athletes. It's just an amazing thing when you have a blog and it's an active blog and you're working. Ad revenue is real. It's something that you can do to earn money. Now, how do I tie all of this together and wrap up this video, which I said wasn't going to be long? I'm going to tie it up with key point 18, which is conquer your region first. One of the most important things that I can explain is if you're starting a blog, focus on where you are. Now, I want to show you this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back to Arch, and I'm going to click on Arch Culinary, right? Now, although this is a national, worldwide website, it gets pretty good traffic. It does well. Like I said, it's a few $1,000s in ad revenue, which is just free money because I write these things because I love writing. And I cover the sneaker industry, and ad revenue, monetizing also means that you can do consulting and things like that. And I don't factor that in. You guys aren't getting to see ad revenue from consulting. All right? You're not getting to see that. But when I write about certain places that are local, even though this is primarily sneakers, it is also culture, and I write about local restaurants that I go to, and this is like Coastal Fish Company, and you go down through the list of restaurants. I conquer my region. I'm not attempting to write about things that are outside of Memphis right now, unless I go to another city, and then I'll decide to write something about that, and you'll see Denstals. All of these are Memphis restaurants that I talk about on the site. All of them are. You can do the exact same thing. And as you become more proficient at writing about these restaurants, think about it like this. You do a video and you take pictures. You have the website knocked out, you have the video aspect, so you got your YouTube. You can start earning this money. If this was my primary job and I didn't have a sneaker shop, if I moved the camera over here, you see a stack of sneakers that are getting ready to be shipped out. If I didn't have a sneaker shop and that wasn't my primary job, this would be. And I would devote a lot more time to going out and taking pictures and doing videos and things like that. But this is not my primary source of income. But if you're getting ready to start a business, no matter what it is, use a blog, use Squarespace, use Shopify. All of those different things will help you a ton. And it could gain you recognition in a much greater way than I even have. Most of my income comes from consulting and e-commerce sneaker sales. I should probably start focusing on this a little bit more. But those are key points 14 through 18. I combined them because they are so old that a lot has changed. So let's get to the next key point, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I appreciate the new subscribers and those of you who are kind of taking this journey with me as I kind of diversify the content on this sneaker channel. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.